What's going on, guys? We are back doing another speed build today. We are doing a tiny home speed build. I have kind of been liking building some tiny homes, and also been liking that I'm building off of builds that I've seen kind of on the internet just randomly, and really this one was one of those as well. It's just off one picture that I saw on the internet. It was definitely obviously a tiny home. Now in the actual build it had a ladder, not stairs, obviously, that severely takes away from the tiny aspect, or the ability to make things tinier than they probably could be in real life. But this is generally what the build kind of looks like, and it's going to look like right here as you're seeing right on the screen. Coming up, we're going to see a quick jump to Sulani. I felt like I just fit a Sulani vibe better because I was trying to make it look similar to the real life build in the sense of like how it kind of is, you know, with the doors and with the wood paneling especially is a big thing. So that's why I decided it would be better in Sulani. Now this I really do like. I do change it. When we move to Sulani, that back little square thing is actually gonna be a deck. It's not gonna be a full-in room. But if I was gonna put this build in anywhere but Sulani, then I would keep that as a back room right there, because I really do like how that looked from a lot of different angles actually. But again, I don't really use it in any of, you know, when we move to Sulani, I get rid of that and just make it a back deck, because we use 63 of the 64 tiles. So I think about it now, we could have used one of the tiles for the staircase in the front, because we do lift it up obviously when we go to Sulani. But I don't know why I didn't think that again until now. I feel like a lot of times when I build, I think of things after the fact when I'm rewatching my builds, especially on these speed builds. But yeah, so this is the general gist of the build right here. It is this vibe. You'll see it, and really what made me move it to Sulani was I really liked the wood from Island Living, and then I like the roofing with the wood from Island Living, obviously. Because the actual build, it definitely looks like it's supposed to be older wood, and it looks more like a shed almost, like that's converted into, you know, a tiny home in the real life. So this one obviously is much bigger, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna go with this one. And in Sulani it looks a lot better. But right here we are in Sulani. As you can see, I was talking about, if this is the wood, we do change the coloring, but generally that wood and the roofing obviously in Sulani, it looks kind of out of place anywhere else. But I think it definitely was kind of the vibe of, because it's slightly dirty, you know, it's not like new wood, but it's also not like, you know, it could just get naturally dirty wood, or like maybe naturally faded a little bit. It's not, there are some other woods I know from other packs but they don't look as good to me, in my opinion, when it comes to the wood. So we're going through and getting the windows here. Since we decided to move it to Sulani, I was like, well, I really want to use Sulani windows and keep, you know, obviously the island vibes, which the real build does not have. They have these two big windows, and then they obviously don't have a deck either. So the hardest part really was that back porch, kind of figuring out what to do with it. Now, the build doesn't show everything. I actually cuts off what the build looks like at the end. I basically do some more decorations after recording. I didn't realize I was doing that after recording, but until I, you know, put all these videos together and sped them up and started doing some editing real quick, that's when I realized, oh, actually, this was not fully completed. I must have forgot to hit record on half of this. So I also just played around with putting that deck on the other side. I was not super against it, but I just didn't love it. I liked it better back there. Kind of kept that homage of what it originally was, you know, in Willow Creek, and how I built it there. And I just felt like it looked better in the back anyways, because the side deck was too close to the water, or to the shore. And I feel like if you were gonna have a deck in Sulani, you really want it to be at the water, you know, over the water. And that's what I wanted there. I didn't want it to be like half on sand and half on, drawing a blank, half on water and half on sand. Yeah. So we're just kind of messing around with the windows. Again, the majority of the build is actually doing the outside and kind of getting the windows right. And I don't know if I do the landscaping in the build either, but I know I upload it with landscaping, and then the pictures will have landscaping. But I don't remember if the landscaping came after I didn't hit record. But so we're like right here. I really like that window up front. I think we do change it though. We're using jungle adventure flooring. It's just a great flooring, and I think it's really good for a Sulani house just because it does fit kind of that theme of having, you know, nice wood. I don't know why. So in a 2 island packs, they give us the nicest woods. It just seems to be that, not the 2 island packs, but the 2 more, you know, I guess they have similar styles because, you know, if you think about the real life history of what Sulani would be, I'd assume it'd be, well, it could be a lot of different things. I guess, you know, a lot of people say it's more Hawaiian, and I guess it probably is. But it's weird that in those 2 packs, Sulani and then Jungle Adventures are the ones where like the nicest woods come from, not like anywhere else, I'd say. I mean, there are other nice woods, but the nicest of the woods, I'd say, come from Jungle Adventures and the Island Living packs. But we are just going to go through, and I think I didn't like, this is me trying to figure out where I put the bathroom down here. I didn't like, if I put it down here essentially with the bathroom, there really wasn't any place, and you're going to see it here soon, there really isn't any place to put a bedroom, or at least a double bed. Now, I could have kind of just been okay with that and just put a single bed somewhere. I don't know why I don't build, I don't know, it's just something, I don't know if I have it against it, but I like, if you're going to have a 1-bedroom house, it's got to have a double bed. Like, you just wouldn't, I don't know. I mean, I actually, surprisingly, I have a single bed right now as an adult, but that's because I moved to a small studio apartment after college. But in college, I always had a double, like I always had a bigger bed, what would be considered a double bed in The Sims. And so I don't know, it seems normal that, that you'd have that, you know, not have a single bed in any sort of house after college. And I just didn't picture this as like a college type house. But yeah, so we have this wall. I basically decided to move the kitchen and the bathroom upstairs, and have the downstairs kind of be more the living area and maybe like a table. And then I decided that little wall would kind of break up everything a little bit, and we could put the TV on it and see and make sure the TV works, or not make sure the TV, but you know, we put the TV on it. That way the Murphy bed kind of looks out into something, because I knew there wasn't going to be enough room to put a couch. Again, when I build tiny houses, the 2 tiny houses I've built, I probably have not been great about space and using all the space. I think obviously that's something to work on, but I've only built 2 tiny houses, so I mean, you know, bear with it, right? But I definitely, you know, have not been using the space efficiently as I probably could, and I'm sure some expert builders, if I give them my shells, would be able to use the space a lot better than I was. But I'm fine with how it turned out. My girlfriend did mention it was probably a little weird that you'd have to walk upstairs to use the kitchen and the bathroom, and then walk down. But you know, like I said, I mean, what were we gonna do? There was no way we were gonna be able to fit, even if we moved both kitchen and bathrooms downstairs, then the bedroom had to be upstairs. So it just didn't make sense to have any. You know, I just decided, like, if we're gonna use Murphy bed, it's a tiny home, let's use a Murphy bed. It'll give us a couch and a bed, and that's the one way we can kind of get around that. So I do change that big window that goes into the bathroom. The bathroom is a tiny, the one basically in front where that door is going into. Now, it's not that door we don't use. I do like that door, and I wish I could have found a place for that door, but I wanted the door to be on the closer to the railing. And the only way to put that door like that was to reverse the way the door looks. And I thought I didn't really want to do that. I didn't really want to reverse the door like that for that specific area. So we use the Island Living counters, which are probably my favorite counters in the game, to be honest with you. They're very modern, which is kind of, again, weird maybe, but they're just nice. They're modern. They're very, you know, I feel like they could fit a lot of different styles of builds. And then we use Jungle Adventures counters up top, which I think go pretty well with those, especially in a not the best lit room, which I'm realizing now. They go pretty well with the Island Living counters or with the Jungle Adventure counter. Or, I don't know if those are called counters up top. What are they called? They're called like cabinets, I guess. So with the cabinets meeting the counters, they look pretty good. Here I am getting rid of that door, or that window, because I'm like, well, I thought, you know, originally I thought it's windows to the back. Like, who really cares if you have this giant window? You know, you can put a curtain there and you'd be fine. But the real reason we got rid of it actually was so we could put the toilet back there and where that window sat, because I was like, you couldn't put a toilet against a window. Just piping wise, it didn't make sense. So that was generally what happened. I did not care about the privacy aspect of it. Like, someone could be swimming or boating by and they'd see you. I didn't care about that in The Sims. But funnily enough, I cared about the realistic aspect of the piping that's not really there, to put the sink and the bathtub, or not the bathtub, the sink and the toilet on that window. But this is actually, believe it or not, this is coming pretty much down to what the build is going to look like at the end. We're kind of getting, like I said, decorating was accidentally not included in the build. There is decoration, so stay tuned for the screenshots, because those will have all the decorations we kind of did and change some things around a little bit. But for the most part, this is like the main furnishing of the house, stays pretty much like this consistently throughout. I think we just put one little tiny living desk and computer under the staircase. I'm not even sure. Yeah, right here we do that. I don't know if I play tested this, so I don't remember if this actually works. You might want to move it farther away if you can. There is room for it in the house to put this desk somewhere if it doesn't work there. So it's not like a huge deal. And then we put a little grill in the back in the recording. We put a little grill in the back and kind of call it good. Like I said, we do go through and decorate everything. So stick around till the end of the video and watch the screenshots. They show a much better picture of what the build actually is going to look like when you download off the gallery. I really like this build as a tiny home. I think it looks really nice, especially in Sulani. I think like the tiny home Sulani island vibes are kind of really cool. But yeah, so that's the build, guys. We're about to get the screenshots. Hope everyone has a great day. Fly high, everybody, and I'll see you next time.
Posting pictures on the gram so other people know that we're more than friends. Ever since you came around, I've never been sober, always in my head. Met you at a time when